Well, hello there. Are you too a very lonely solo Warlock gamer in Destiny 2? Well, I have the build just for you. This build uses Apotheosis Veil, Song of Flame, Izanagi's Burden. Yes, Izanagi's Burden. The Summoner, and Outrageous Fortune to create, well, nothing like any other build. Keep watching to become just as epic as I have.
Hello, all my fellow lonely warlocks out there. I am some guy Gary, and today we have the best lonely warlock build in all of Destiny 2 Edge of Fate. Right now, it is Apotheosis Veil. Armor perk, Insatiable. Immediately regenerate health, melee, grenade, and rift energy for you and your nearby allies upon activating your super. After your super ends, temporarily gain greatly increased melee and grenade regen. We have Izanagi's Burden, the Summoner with Subsistence and Onslaught. Great gun. It's going to pair super well with later things in this setup. Artifact mods, solar subclass stuff. Outrageous Fortune. We got Incandescent and Bait and Switch. However, I would prefer Envious Arsenal in the Incandescent slot, but that's what we're working with. Same thing with the Summoner. I would prefer an Ahab Char over the Summoner, but the Summoner is a very solid option as Xur was selling it this last weekend. Onto the subclass screen. Song of Flame, Healing Rift, Strafe Glide, Incinerator Snap, Solar Grenade, Touch of Flame, Hellions, Ember of Mercy, Ember of Empyrean, Ember of Searing, and Ember of Torches. A more thorough explanation of the setup. Song of Flame is going to provide the most damage for a solo player. It's super solid. It's the best all-arounder super for solar. Healing Rift over Phoenix Dive because it provides more survivability than Phoenix Dive does, and we're not using healing grenades. If we were using healing grenades, okay, Phoenix Dive might work, so interchange it as you see fit. Incinerator Snaps, Solar Grenades, again, you could equip the healing grenade and then swap over to solar for DPS cycles. Touch of Flame, boost grenades. Hellion, spread Scorch, and ignitions. Ember of Mercy, picking up Fire Sprite, grants restoration. A bit of that survivability coming into play here. Ember of Empyrean, solar weapon or ability final blows extend restoration and radiant effects. Ember of Searing, defeating scorched targets grants a Fire Sprite, so then picking up the Fire Sprite gives you resto, killing stuff, extends resto. That's my survivability solution here. Ember of Torches, for Radiant, you're going to want Radiant for a artifact mod. Onto the mod screen. All right, we're not using anything too fancy here. These mods matter a little less than they used to. Solar Surge is also good. Onto the artifacts. All right, we are using Radiant Shrapnel, Fever and Chill, and then obviously Overload Rapid Fire is pretty decent here. Some of these other ones might work as well, so take note. Radiant Shrapnel and Fever and Chill are insane together. Precision hits with a solar weapon grant Radiant, and dealing sustained weapon damage while Radiant or defeating a Scorch combatant with a weapon causes the target to release solar projectiles that deal damage and Scorch on impact, spreading Scorch, spreading ignitions. And finally, we are using the 4-stack bonus of Last Discipline. It's a pretty solid one. It's not the best, but it's the one that works with this setup the most effectively. Onto the transmog. We got some sort of nightly solar look here. It's a cool look. I always like incorporating the solar or the subclass into my looks, my transmogs. And I thought it'd be cool to pair the Izanagi's sword ornament with a nightly looking warlock. If you guys enjoy the video, please drop a like, a comment. Let me know what I could change. Let me know what I can improve in the comment section below. I love you guys. Stay tuned for the gameplay. This build's more focused around the DPS aspect rather than the ad clear, because the ad clear is always covered if you're using solar. If you guys enjoy the video, stick around, stay tuned. I do some DPS tests later in the video. I love you guys. Let me know what you think of the build, and I will see you in the next one, gamers. Bye now. So I'm going to do 2 tests in the Spire of the Watcher final boss on the Wyvern. We're going to start out with popping Song of Flame, using Izanagi's Burden, and then swapping down to the grenade launcher for some bait and switch damage. And then in the next test, we just go straight Song of Flame and then the Apotheosis Veil, Insatiable grenades, and melee. Alright, so that was the test using Izanagi's and Grenade Launcher for damage while popping Song of Flame, rather than using Song of Flame and Apotheosis Fails Grenades. We're at 17.5 damage. That's not bad. That's the highest I've seen with this setup. Okay, so this is the Song of Flame and Apotheosis Veil only damage test here. Let's pop a Hellion. Get that going. A Flame. Let's go straight into grenades and melees here for damage and see how much it does. There's some grenade launcher shots in there. Alright, so it's just shy. It's actually better to pop the Song of Flame, use Izanagi's, and the grenade launcher. However, it's pretty viable either way. So if you want to use this build to, you know, pretty simple, easy damage, with the ignitions, it stuns bosses, so you don't got to worry about really taking damage while you're throwing melees out. So if you just want to use the Insatiable and the Song of Flame, it's super solid. Pretty decent DPS. If it's a longer DPS phase, this build is perfect. You're going to get the Izanagi shots, and you're going to get bait and switch grenade launcher shots after Song of Flame and Insatiable, and you're going to probably have some pretty good damage. I would say with that, if this boss damage phase was a bit longer, we'd probably have, what, 20 to 30k damage each phase. Pretty solid, pretty good, and I hope you guys enjoyed. On to the shooting range. So here we are in the firing range, the handy dandy firing range, because dungeons were not cutting it for this test. Too hard to get stuff set up, and again, this build seems more like it's going to work for a fire team setup rather than a solo setup. Definitely can make it work. The dungeon bosses soloing, they don't have enough time and phases for damage to really make use of the potential damage output that you can achieve here. So you're going to want to start by cooking a Izanagi's Burden Shot. We're going to go ahead and pop a Healing Rift, throw a grenade, throw a melee, pop super, grenade, melee, until it runs out, and then you keep spamming grenade, melee until those run out from the Apotheosis Veil buff. If I don't miss my timings here, there you go. As soon as Insatiable's over, maybe cast a rift, pop the Izanagi shot, switch to the auto, switch down to the grenade launcher, and just bait and switch it out. This is very much doable in probably a raid scenario. However, it's not going to be as functional for any other content. This isn't going to be the best DPS you can do on Warlock, but I would say it is up there in the current sandbox. If you guys enjoyed the video, you want to see more from me, please drop a like. Let me know what I could tweak. Let me know what I could change. I haven't raided in a long time, and I thought maybe, hey, maybe this is a good setup. Maybe I'm onto something. Maybe I'm cooking. If I'm not cooking, tell me. Flame me in the comments. Hey, it's solar. Get it? Flame, solar, yeah. I love you guys again. See you in the next one.